Samsung announces the date for its virtual event to launch new phones. Elon Musk unveils a bold plan for super fast internet and the flying car. Yes, my friends, the Jetsons have arrived. And our tech guide editor, Stephen Fenech, joins us right now with, you look like you're on the set of The Matrix there, my friend. What's happening with Samsung?
Yeah, good morning, Tim. Samsung is having their virtual event in early August the 6th, early in the morning Australian time. This is going to be an event where they're going to announce both the Samsung 20 and the Galaxy Fold 2. You remember the folding phone they introduced last year, so version 2 is on its way. The Note 20 is typically what they launch in August. That's the larger device, has the S Pen, so you can write on the screen. You can also connect it to a monitor, so it becomes like a computer. The folding phone, the second iteration of it will be, we're thinking it's going to be called the Galaxy Z Fold, following the Galaxy Z Flips launch earlier in the year in February. That's the new family name we're thinking for the folding devices. But this is... Samsung have sailed through the last few months pretty well. They had their Galaxy S20 launch in San Francisco just before the pandemic. They didn't have any factories in China. They were manufacturing in Vietnam and Korea. So they had a bunch of rails run through the whole thing. This is expected to also be a pretty big launch for them as well. These new phones, very highly anticipated. They do have a lot of niche customers for these devices.
Meet George Jetson, his boy Elroy or Leroy or whatever his name was. The flying car, Steve, finally here, and testing apparently going to start in the New South Wales country town of Narromine, where Glenn McGrath's from. That's correct, yeah. Central West Country.
They're going to test this new flying car. It's basically a passenger drone, and it's from an Australian company called AMSL Aero, and they've set up out in Narromine this aerodrome precinct that will allow them to build a facility. They'll start construction and hopefully start testing this new 21. The vehicle itself will be capable
up to 300 kilometres an hour. It's fully electric too, so it's environmentally friendly, and it's also quiet. So this could herald a whole new mode of transport for us moving forward, and good to see that it is actually being developed in country New South Wales. Could even, just for country travellers, could really change the way they get around in country towns, between town to town. Imagine being able to hop on board this new vehicle and get to where you got to go in a matter of minutes instead of hours.
Well, it's only being tested at the moment. Sort of how far away do you think it is before it actually comes to fruition?
Yeah, well, I think we're probably talking 2 or 3 years away at least. You've got to remember too, Uber has a similar plan. They unveiled their Uber Air service about a year ago, and Melbourne was one of the cities that they were wanting to do their testing in as well. So it's a concept that's not just native to what's happening in Narromine, but it's something that's being developed and could very well take off within the next 3 to 4, possibly 5 years.
Tell us about Elon Musk.
Well, Elon Musk has always been a big thinker. I really respect how he's quite a disruptive fellow who comes across, and he changed the car industry with Tesla, totally changed the space program with SpaceX. Now he's got this bold idea to provide super fast internet from space. So what he's doing with his company Starlink, what he's doing, he's deploying all these satellites into a low Earth orbit, and by low I mean at about 550 kilometres above the Earth. This constellation of satellites, possibly up to 40,000 of them, will be able to then provide high-speed internet to any point on the globe. So imagine being in a rural area or somewhere really remote where it's very hard to get the internet, but this layer of satellites, this constellation of satellites, will be able to hit a receiver in your place, so that rather than having a modem router, there'd be a box that would act as a receiver and allow you to have this fast signal. And because of the constellation of these satellites, and the satellites, by the way, vary in size up to 260 kilograms all the way down to the size of a pizza. So they're various size and strengths. But the goal is to build up to 40,000 of these, send them up into orbit and provide that high-speed internet that a lot of people have been missing out on.
You notice I haven't mentioned South Sydney yet?
Well, it was a good win last night. It was a tough one. Adam Reynolds, unfortunately, couldn't convert any of our tries, but still a pretty grinding win, mate. I think solid effort. Hopefully we can beat the Knights next week. The Souths haven't beat a team in the top 8 yet. We're beating everyone below us on the table. Hopefully that'll all change next week.
Good on you, Steve. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.